Coach, your head coaching experience starts at Bowling Green. You go to Utah, Florida, and then finally at Ohio State. How do you compare your feelings about bowl games at all those different stops?
Well, it's completely different. You know, when you're at Bowling Green, we went 8-3 and 9-3, and one of the most unselfish, hardest working group of players to this day. We still talk about it, and we didn't have enough bowl games. We earned a right. How about this? They, I believe, are 1-10. Before that, they have the biggest turnaround in college football, one of the biggest in college football history, and yet they stay home and they have to watch other teams playing bowl games, like a 6-6 Big Ten school. And that was really hard to, once again, the coaches move on. Players have that small window of time, so it's really hard. I remember tears. I remember players sobbing. I remember families saying, "What can we do?" And I fought hard to no avail. But what we did is the MAC conference started getting some more bowl games after that because of Bowling Green. Then you go to Utah and you go win our first championship in 60 years. It's one of the great moments. We go to the Liberty Bowl and play. And then I can tell you other stories where you get stuck in a lesser bowl at a big-time premium blue-blooded program, and the players don't want to go. Coaches not necessarily want to go, and it's almost a punishment. And you can say that you get more practice time. That's true. But so it is completely different. I still think the positives far outweigh the negatives. And I would continue to, the bowl system right now, to me, because I've witnessed it on every level. I witnessed it from the lowest level to the highest level. And it's still a great, great opportunity for young people to share a great experience.
I think one of the most difficult things recently in bowl games is when you have a team that most of the team really wants to go to the bowl game for one reason or another. Not the Bowling Green example, not the Utah example, but maybe one of the bowl games at Florida, one of the bowl games at Ohio State, where the great majority want to go. But some players, and usually some of your best players, say they don't want to go. So when someone came into your office or would come into your office and say, "Coach, I don't want to go to the bowl game," what do you tell them?
Well, I experienced that. I really, it took my breath away. I heard stories about it, but as a coach, you're in a cocoon with your team, and we had a good year. I want to say we're 12-1 or something like that, but we got left out of the playoff, and we had to play USC in the Cotton Bowl, and one of our best players, Denzel Ward, who's not a good person, a great person, great family, and he came in my office, and he was a projected top 10 pick, and said, "I'm going to sit this one out, Coach." And I think I'm going to sit it out. And I call his position coach in, and we talk about it. We talk to him. And of course, one of the problems is coaches have vested interest, and they have a dog in the race. And that means they want the kid to play because they want to win. They have to win. And then, but I understood. As hard as that hit me, I sit back and I realize, wait a minute, I understand this. Do I agree with it? I kind of do. I've changed over the years because I was always raised in the team first. You do whatever it takes to help the team. But the game has changed. It's a very profitable opportunity for coaches and players and everyone. So the other example was Nick Bosa. That's well documented. Here's the best player. He was the best player in college football. Our best player on the team, our toughest guy, our leader, a great guy, a great leader, everything we needed. And he got hurt, a bad injury. Yet the doctors told us that he could come back later in the year. And he decided, and I certainly understand, you're talking about top 5 pick. And him and his father, who I'm still very close to, decide not to play and not play in the Rose Bowl. So I certainly understand that. But once again, that's every individual's right. And that's, like you said, this was not a conversation 10 years ago. This is a conversation every year. And I only imagine it's going to get bigger.
And things have gotten better for the student athlete. I mean, we've gone from room, books, board, and tuition to the cost of education. I can remember, I think you had just beaten Alabama, and we were on the field at Big Ten Network. You were coaching Ohio State, and you said that you and Gene Smith were going to appeal to the NCAA to help the families of the players to pay for their transportation and lodging at the national championship game. And in fact, that happened that week. And so things have gotten better. They just haven't gotten better at the same ratio, at the same percentage that it has for not only coaches, but college administrators, commissioners, and so on. And
so often in most conversations that people have, the fixation is on the upper 1%. When you're looking at the other 96%, aren't going to have that generational money. And yes, education is critical. So the shadow opportunities, internship opportunities, and what life, what a a college education and college experience can give you. And I get very upset when I hear people say, well, they're not really student athletes. No, yes, they are. For the upper 1 or 2% that have been gifted with incredible skill set that, a Chase Young, et cetera, but that's not the normal. Yes, it's very important, the entire collegiate experience.
As always, Coach, great stuff. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.